Dr. Kim. Live to be well. Live to be well with Dr. Kim, with Dr. Kim.
Good evening and welcome to Live to Be Well. I'm Dr. Kim. Let a friend know, call a neighbor. Make sure you let someone know that Live to Be Well is on the air. Well, it's that time Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. I pray your day has been well, and we want you to know it's all about your relationship with Jesus Christ and that he wants you to live to be well. Now, a lot has been going on in the news. We've had some bad weather up in the Northeast in Boston, New York area. And we pray that your family, friends, and let's keep them in prayer. We know we had a lot of flooding last week in California, a lot of things going on. So we want to keep all of our friends and family in prayer. So listen, I don't know about you. I'm excited about this broadcast. I'm telling you, we're going to have such a great time. We're going to read your comments. We're going to share information. We're going to give you an opportunity to post right here live with us. So I'm excited. I'm getting ready to bring 6 in, my daughter, Micha Logan. ML6, come on in. Hello. Hello, baby. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. It's good to see you. You know, how's your week been so far?
It's been busy, but
You've
all
been
is well.
busy. Yeah, I text you by mistake. I think it was 6:30 a.m. your time. And what did my daughter, huh?
It was.
It was. And I said, oh, and I texted her, ignore. But before I could get to the last button, she had already called and I said, go back to sleep. So, but I thank the Lord that, you know, she is very, very attentive to her mother. So 6, what's been going on in our, news? What's been going on out there?
I mean, as you mentioned, there's been a lot of rain, unusual rain. Tony lied. It definitely rains in Southern California.
Yeah.
And it rains a lot, but the sun is out now, so all is well.
Okay.
We've had a lot of just interesting things happen. Of course, things are going on in the country. Comedians are fighting, politicians are fighting.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. So, as we are on the brink of, Valentine's Day, which is the official national day that whether you love or not, you're just going to see it everywhere. We're just here to talk about relationships and how to extend them and what does it mean to have a good relationship, and not just, sexual or anything like. We're just talking about relationships, period. Friendships, work relationships, relationships, period, across the board.
Oh yeah, across the board. Well, we have a wonderful special guest because I know people are waiting to hear from our special guest. So ML6, I'm going to let you bring our special guest in and do the introduction of this great man.
This man literally makes me smile from the inside out. I met him years ago. He came to Huntsville to do an interview when I think it may have been his first single. I'm not really sure about that. But he was across the way. I was in the studio, and I felt sorry for him because he was getting his ear plucked off by at the time, our general manager. And I jumped in his DM and talked to him. And then there was a span of time where we didn't see each other. And then when I moved out here, I kept running into him. And I think we saw each other at the airport, and he was with his beautiful mom. And he was like, wait, are you living out here? And I was like, yeah. And it was just immediate. I love this human being so much. He is talented. Many of you may have seen him. He is literally what kept the Maverick City Choir together. He directed them. I love watching him direct. I love his passion for music. But more than anything, I love Jason McGhee's heart as a human being. He's loving. He's caring. He's kind. He is really special to the world, to the kingdom. And I wanted the opportunity to share him with you all. Now, don't get it twisted. He mine. I'm protective of my friends. No. But he has a live recording April 6th here in Los Angeles. I'm just excited for him. And I want him to share because one thing about Jason, he's very intentional about the relationships he forms with people. And I felt that he would be the perfect person to share his heart and his wisdom on the subject. So I welcome one of the best choir directors in the world.
Come on now.
McGhee.
Yes. All right. Hey.
What up? I mean, literally the best introduction in the world. It don't get no better than that.
That is so
friend.
Hey, friend.
You know what? She gonna have to share you with Mama a little bit. Okay, come on.
Absolutely.
Now.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Goes without saying. Like it goes without saying.
So let's talk about. We have some comments we're gonna bring in a little bit, but let's talk about how important it is, Jason, to be able to be valued. First of all, being valued. Let's put the definition up. Of appraisal. We want to put the definition up. And be able to look at that, and let's peel that back. Because a lot of times we will appraise homes, jewelry, cars. We will fur coats. We will, what's the value of that? But when we start talking about relationships, we tend to overlook the red flags. Okay. We overlook different aspects of things. So let's look at the definition. An act of assessing something, or Jason and 6, someone. That's Webster. So let's look at that and peel that back a little bit, because we need to know, where does the value really lie? And Micha said you are intentional about the relationships that you have. And why is that? And how do you value them? And how do they value you?
I think the intentionality behind like forming good relationships. I think it starts with the value being you placing the value on you.
Okay.
And I think it's kind of connecting with people who treat you like you treat you. So if you find yourself in constant like toxic relationships, it's because that's kind of like how you see yourself. So you kind of like, someone who needs to be needed will always attract takers. They wonder, why am I always having someone taking from me? It's like, I'm a giver, but like, why is someone always taking only? It's like, well, because you have a need to be needed. So you haven't placed a value on the gift that you have and just being yourself. So I think that's the biggest thing, is like placing the value on you and understanding who you are and the gift that you are and the gift that you have, and ensuring that the people that you connect with treasure that gift, but may also possess the same gift. Like literally looking out for people, or building relationship with people who are kind if you're kind, who are giving if you're giving, who who kind of like answer a lot of your own personal questions. So that's what it's been for me. People always say there's not a lot of good people in LA. Everyone's fake, and I don't agree with that. I've met some of the world's best people in this city, and I always feel like if you're real, you'll attract real. But if you're fake, you'll attract fake.
I like that. 6, come on.
No, I mean, I agree. I haven't had an issue since I've been out here. The people that I've met, the people that I asked God to position me and to position them where it needs to be. And I can honestly say, like, whether we see each other all the time or there are months that pass, I know who my people are out here. And he's so right. Like, who you are and knowing who you are really does matter about what and whom you attract in your life.
Oh, definitely. Why is it that we, I stepped out of the camera for a minute, but why is it that we ignore the red flags? We ignore them. Jason, we see the flags. We know that they're there. Like you said, if I know something is toxic, but yet I'm drawn to it because I'm toxic, so I see the red flags, the way that person definitely demoralizes me, devalues me. But yet again, I stayed with that because sometimes people are codependent, Jason and 6, on that type of behavior and lifestyle. Because, alcoholics don't like drinking alone. They drink together. Right. Okay. So they're codependent on each other. People, substance abusers like to get high with other people, company. So if I'm in a situation where I'm negative, if you think negative, you'll be what? Negative. So as a man thinketh, so is he. By beholding, we become changed. So the question is, why is it that I know you're not right for me? I know that this is not a healthy workplace for me. I know that this may be not the right church for me. Okay, because we got a lot of church hurt out there. But yet I stay in it. Why?
Fear.
Oh.
I think fear is a big component in staying in a place where you don't belong, because one thing about being in a place where you don't belong is that you still have a place. You know, being alone, it may be scarier than being in a toxic relationship, because at least I have a relationship. At least my bed is warm at night. At least I have someone to go to dinner with and someone to talk to on the phone. And I think the fear of being alone will keep somebody with someone they just shouldn't be with. I think the fear of searching for a new church will keep someone at the wrong church. I think fear really is the thing that makes us think that those red flags are maybe just a nice shade of pink.
Come on now, come
As
on.
opposed,
I got pink down here too now. Yeah, let me bring pink up. Pink don't look nothing like red. Okay, here go
they're
my
very
pink.
different. They're very, very different.
All right.
But I think people will go colorblind to the effect of red because of fear. Because sometimes the safety outweighs the unknown.
Come on now. And that's why we have to get to a point. Six, you want to comment on that? Because I don't know how you're going to come back with that. That was good. Okay, Six.
Well, I mean, Jason is here for a reason. I'm
Yes, he is.
I'm just really here. One of the things I love is that my friends, I get wisdom from them.
Yeah.
So I enjoy hearing when they speak. So the more he talks, it's fine. But I would just like to ask, why is it so easy for us to see red flags but not see green flags?
Ooh, I got green too. I got green. Oh,
you got everything but your glasses. But okay.
See, Jason, I got my glasses this week. Okay, she talked about me. I am not even squinting yet. Okay.
Why wait till it happens?
I love the mother-daughter moment. I love the moment. That's so good to me.
Why?
Why wait till it happens? Got all these flags.
Okay, here we go. We ready.
You got all these flags.
With no glasses.
I'm sorry, Mama. That was funny.
I'm glad that's two. I'm getting you too. When I come to LA, I'm taking you to dinner, but she got to pay for her own meal. I'm paying for yours. Amen. All right. Okay. Kimmy says comfortable is what they know and are familiar with. You better believe it, Kimmy.
Yep,
okay.
That's what does it.
So why don't we see green? Go back to that, Micah, before you were distracted.
I said oftentimes we are so quick to point out red flags of people when we don't really take into consideration the green flags of those people.
That's good.
And if you see red flags, and it's like, okay, yes, we get it. We're all like, some people are definitely scum. Okay, some people are definitely worse than others. But we have to also understand that that person could just be going through a bad moment in time, a bad moment in their life, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad person. And so that's when, to me, the green flag is that level of grace. Now, sometimes we know grace definitely runs out, and you're not, don't let people run over you, take advantage of you, anything like that. But I think oftentimes we don't highlight the green flags and the people that are in our circles, because we're so quick to point out the red flags of the people that aren't.
I agree. And I think sometimes we don't see the green flags in ourselves.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? I think we are inherently, I hate to say this, but human beings can be inherently negative. And so a lot of times we don't see the green flags in ourselves. We don't see ourselves as worthy. We don't see ourselves. So it's kind of hard for me to see the green flags in you. And I keep only finding red flags in myself. So it's kind of hard for me to go, you know what I mean? While I keep making myself stop while asking you to go, and it doesn't necessarily work. And I think the same answer for not seeing red flags is the same answer for not seeing green flags. I think anything that challenges us against who we are, I think, is fear. I think it keeps a lot of us from, letting people in, and also keeps a lot of us from kicking people out who need to be kicked out.
Oh, I did this scenario at my office. I'm walking through the revolving doors, and I said, no, let's go back and reshoot that. I opened the door. Some people you need to let in, and some people you need to close the door on.
Yep.
And fear is one of the reasons why, even in domestic violence, even though I may beat him, or because women beat men, and abuse men, but men don't report it because they are embarrassed to report it.
Yeah.
And then, but that fear, but at least I have somebody in my life. I have someone sleeping in my bed, but at what cost? Let's talk about, how do I surrender, some of these behavior patterns, because they are toxic behavior patterns. And I'm looking for a change. And then I'm kind of moving towards the end of the show, but I want to talk about accountability.
Let me tell you.
That's good.
We having a mother-daughter moment right now. All right.
No, let me tell you, the good brother, the good pastor, Ty Tribbett, just talked about this. Jason, did you see what he said? He said people aren't ready for real relationships because they're not ready for accountability.
That's true.
And when he said it during his sermon this past week, I was like, yo, that's real. He's like, because we take people asking us where we're going, what we're doing, but all those things as people being like all in your business. When it's really like, yo, when you're with somebody or when you're connected to someone, it's making sure they're doing what they said that they're going to do, making sure they're going to be where they said that they're going to be, making sure that they show up when they said that they're going to show up. It's just a level of accountability. And you have to know and understand the heart of the person that's asking the question, and you have to understand the heart of the person that's responding. But people aren't ready for real relationships because they aren't ready for accountability. Ty Tribbett said it.
And then that means I have to measure and do a baseline. When you get ready to go into a relationship, I say start with yourself. Have a baseline. Every day, Jason and 6, you should do a baseline. Where am I today? On a scale 1 to 5. Well, I'm a 3.2. I'm a 3.8. I'm a 4. So when people come into my therapeutic setting, I ask them, well, tell me how you feel about you. And then we can look at us. And so it's very important that we do that. So accountability. And Jason, in my new book, I talk about accountability, awareness, consistency. That's another thing that people are afraid of, because I've got to be consistent if I value myself. Okay. And then I have to have compassion. Micha always says, show yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. Mm-hmm. And number 5, integrity. You got to be honest with you before you can ask somebody else to be honest with you.
That's the truth.
Telling yourself the truth. Can you count on yourself? All right. And so the accountability piece is so important. All right. Okay. I want to go to the comments. Let's go to the comments. We're going to read the comments, Jason. Okay. And all right. Come on now. Ready, Al? You ready, Al? That was good. It's good. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Come on, talk to us. And, it's never too late to leave your comments. All right. Okay, we're ready. Your thoughts, what makes a relationship valuable to you? Amen. Okay. Number 1. Hey, Randy from Benton Harbor, Michigan. Respect, communication, God first in the middle of the relationship. Honest, trust, love, and caring. All right, Randy, you hit on a lot of things. Okay, Jason, read Rachel Harris.
Rachel Harris, respect, communication, trustworthy, caring, and love.
Amen. All right. 6, read Pam Ellis.
God, stability, love, communication, honesty, and respect.
Jason, take Tanya. What does Tanya say to us?
Tanya said, a relationship that proves we appreciate and value one another, one where there is no question, everyone is operating in integrity, willingness to forgive, and communicate effectively.
Yes, I may have to add number 6, forgiveness, on that list. All right. All right. D says loyalty, protector, trust, love, laughter, and being a loving stepfather. All right. Make it personal.
Right. That's very specific.
All right. Dennis Woods says love, trust, and loyalty. Okay. Micha, take Tony Rankin.
When I'm not in one sorry truth on a Tuesday, huh?
When I'm not in one sorry truth. That's interesting.
All right, Tony.
That was okay. All right, Tony. I receive. Okay.
Right. Whatever it is, Tony. We're gonna work through it.
Okay. Thomas Maycock says trust. Okay. Miss Shelley, respect, care, time shared, and Jason, take Gwendolyn.
The most important things to me are trust and someone who loves God more than me or anything else.
That's it. Okay. So when we have more.
But let me interject there, because a lot of people love and I'm not saying that this is her, I'm just speaking in general, but it's very interesting when you hear relationships or they say, oh, I want them to love God first, I want them to do la da 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 da, right? But when it comes down to it, a lot of times when you into the thick of it, you really want them to love you first.
Right.
You like, the reality is like, you want them to love you. You say, I want a man or a woman that loves God, family, his work, then me. But then you in the thick of it and you like, why are you working so much? Why are you doing this so much? You're not paying attention to me. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. And it's like, oh, so you really want someone that literally puts you first.
But
and
I think
all that other stuff to be. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. That got good to me.
No, go ahead. Just right here. Just right here.
I think it's one of those things where if they don't love God first, they're not going to love you at all. They're not going to love you. They will love you, but they can't love you the right way. I think the whole God first thing will cause them to put you first, if that makes any sense. Them honoring God first will make sure that they love you above all humans, if you will. And I think the honoring of God, I think, is what causes them to turn back around and like love, because they're not going to treat you the right way if they don't respect God first. So I think I think the deeper version of that, I guess, is like they're doing too much, like they're gone too much, they're doing one of those things in the name of God, but that's not actually correct. That's not a love of God. That's like a love of service. That's a love of action. That's a love of a thing. That's not technically a love of God. The love of God causes you to love your spouse first, because that's the covenant that you made under God. So nothing comes before that. So the spouse ought to feel the most love if a person loves God first.
That's right. That's right. See, I didn't want a man who loved me. I wanted a man who loved God. You know, and my husband loved God.
I'm saying people say that all the time, but they don't necessarily really mean it.
Why do you say that?
That's what I'm saying.
Why do you say that, Micha?
I've seen it time and time again. They say it because it sounds good. It looks good on paper. But when it comes to the reality of the situation, they don't want that. They say they want it. They say they want it, but when it comes to I'm just talking about the reality. Now, again, it could be a lot of people, it could be a small number of people, but I have seen it. It's like, do you really want them to love God first? But then to piggyback off of what Jason said, that if they truly love God and have a relationship with God, and that union is of God, then everything else is going to fall into place.
Right.
What happens is when these unions not really of God, they're not a good representation of God. But then you think they have God, and then you're trying to force God to figure out and work out what He's trying to tell you. Yeah, it's not going to work, because this is why you're feeling like X, Y, and Z, because this isn't something that I put together for you. This is why you don't feel. This is why you don't feel love. This is why you don't feel. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm glad that I said it, because Jason definitely did put a perspective on it. Like, it has to be of God, period. When it's truly of God, not just something that looks good on your list when you're thinking about the perfect mate.
I think it's one of those things that he has to be, him being the center of it and the primary focus, or the one that's consulted, I think will keep the couple together, if you will. I think he has to be the primary focus. And I think that causes us to, love each other,
Okay, let's go back to our comments and finish reading our comments.
Okay.
Okay. You all that was good. That was good. Okay. Jason, I wanted her to be a therapist, but she told me no when she was 6 or 7. Okay.
I bet I can see her saying no at 6 or 7 to therapy. I'm not doing that.
Right. I'm clinical psych. Her dad was a clinical social worker. She said, y'all both crazy. Y'all crazy. Okay. All right. So Renee Norwood, communion. All right. Communion. All right, Jason, take Jody Perry.
When you put God first, communication, respect, trust, and love are full in place.
Okay. All right.
Will fall in place. Sorry.
Will fall in place. Pam.
I need my glasses.
6, take Pamela Mitchell.
You too, huh?
I was like, you laughing at me because I need my glasses?
Yes, everybody needs glasses. Transparency.
I'm over here reading slow.
I got my glasses this week. Okay. Okay.
Transparency, honesty, effective communication, validity of each other's feelings, humor, and affirmation.
I like that affirmation,
Yeah.
validity of each other. Foxy Brown, that's my girl. Respect, care, and love. Okay. Micha, read Sherry. Hey, cousin Sherry.
Communication, trust.
And then Bobby Lee Andrews, trust. Do we have others? We have okay. So those, all right, okay. Let's take that one, Jason. Go ahead, Jason.
Represent fruitfulness, exhibit loyalty, supportive and understanding, while reciprocating the same energy I give.
Oh, I like that. You got to give that same energy right back. Okay, so all right, thank you, Al. Okay.
I'm sorry, can I comment on that really fast?
Yeah, go. Yes, definitely.
Reciprocating the same energy I give is tough.
Okay.
That's a tough one because every day you're not going to give 100. So I don't necessarily need you to reciprocate it. Sometimes I just need you to give 100.
Come on.
Because there are days I can't give 100. There are days that I only got 25, and that is my 100 today. So which means if you're reciprocating 25, and on the days that I can't give more than that, then now we're only at a 50%. So
and I am horrible at that because I am one to be like, yeah, so if you're giving me 25, I'm gonna give you 25. And in my mind, I think it makes sense because I feel like because I feel like if I'm gonna give you 100 and then you're giving me lackluster, I feel stupid for giving you 100.
But if that's all I can
learn, but what I had to learn in my maturity, that could literally be the only thing that person has to give. That's their best for that day. And if I'm to give my best for that day, then at some point it'll balance out.
Right. Because
that came with maturity.
Because I think sometimes their 100 will feel like 25 to you, but that is their 100 today. Like that is literally them going, I'm giving you every single thing I got, whatever my reserve is of energy, of love, or whatever, I'm giving everything to you. But for you, you're like, that's only 25, but it's like, nah, actually that's 100 for where they are today, like where they are emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, like financially. Like sometimes people, so that's the hard. I think that's really challenging because that pulls on the ego, that pulls on the heart, that pulls on like the emotions, the pride, that pulls on all of those things. Because I'm like, why am I doing 100 and you're only doing 25? But so
my older sister, she does this thing where when she hits me up in the morning, afternoon, whenever we speak, she says, "What's your energy level?" She asks me that off top. And so we gauge it. And so like she'll either meet me where I am or she'll affirm me to go higher. And I love that for me. And what I've started to do is I've also started to do that for her because I don't want her to feel like she's constantly pouring into me as a younger sister. I want her to feel like she's getting something from me as her younger sister.
Right.
And so it's just something I had to learn. We've only known each other for a couple of months, mind you. But that's how we approach each other every single day.
I love that.
What's your energy level?
I love that.
And so I have a question. So when people say that they want the truth in relationship, I'm talking about across the board, like not just romantic, platonic, business, whatever. When people say that they want the truth in relationship, listen, do you feel that they really want the truth?
Do they really want the truth?
I think they want the relationship to be true, but I don't know if everybody always wants the like just blunt truth. I am one of those people that I do like tell me the truth.
Tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth.
Do not don't sugarcoat it. Like there are days. You said what?
I am, Micha. I am, Micha. I want the truth. In my line of work, you got to be able to handle the truth.
Mom, no. You don't. You want the truth. This is just a pause for just a second. You want the truth sugar-coated, wrapped in honey. Yes, you do. You do. Well, maybe it's just for me. I don't know what everybody else. I don't know if it's about with everyone, but for me, because when I speak, sometimes she says that I speak too harsh and I speak too. It's not me being harsh. I'm just very direct. And so when I have to learn when I'm talking to her, it's like I'm giving you the truth directly, but sometimes you don't want to hear that. And so what I've learned to do is I'm gonna just be quiet.
You know what she did, Jason, one day?
Talk to me, Mom.
I called her on the phone. You know what she said?
What?
Now, she called me. She said, now, if you're going to talk, I'll call you back. But if you're going to listen, I'll talk to you, Mom. So going forward, I said, are we listening today or are we talking today? Okay. And she said, Mommy, you have to learn to listen. I'm a great listener. So now
you're a great listener to your clients. However, sometimes when it happens, it just happens, and it's something that I've literally watched the behavior my entire life. But when I get to a point in my adulthood, when you say to me, I want to have a relationship with you as my daughter, or I want to grow the relationship as my daughter, that means that you're going to have to listen to me and hear me, not as a patient, but as your daughter. And some things you may not like, but I'm going to tell you what it is. And then if I'm looking at you and I'm saying, Mom, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, I'm talking to you woman to woman.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, so this is a thing where it's like you want honesty, but you want that thing sugar-coated.
Okay. We're gonna go back to the show. Leave me alone. Okay? Thank you. Oh, my good friend. Okay. All right. Well, good. Let me say this. All right. Jason will be like, "Ooh, they both out there." Okay. Let me say this. Okay. Being mommy, I'm always gonna be mom. I'm not even mom. I'm mommy. I am so soft when it comes to my girls. Lord, she's sure enough a version of you. Isn't she my sister, Talabi? And I am so soft. I'm so gentle. They can't do any wrong because they're my babies, right? Jason, if I don't pray with my girls every day, I just melt. I pray with them every day. And thank God Micha didn't have cell phones when she was in college, because I would have called her 20 times a day. Erin, I call her all the time. Mom, I'm fine. I'm good. Her friends would say, it's your mom again? It's your mom again? You know, I do accept real truth. Mom, I'm growing up. I'm independent. You know, I'm getting a little bit better. I don't bother Micha maybe about 5 times a day. Okay. And so, you know, I do accept the truth. Yes, for my clients and my patients, I have to be truthful and honest, you know, when I sit in that chair. But when it comes to my girls, I am very, very soft because, you know, I don't want them to think that I don't hear them. And sometimes that could be bad because I give into them, you know. And I got this philosophy. I can't do anything, Jason, when I'm dead and gone. So I'm gonna do everything I can for them now. And I think I put a lot of value in how I'm assessed as a mother. Can we do some real talk here?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, how I assess myself as a mother for them. Because I see so many mothers who are not connected, and the people I counsel, they want relationships with their daughters and their sons, and they don't know how to do it. So I'm not looking to be validated. I validate myself through God. I know I'm a good mother, a good parent. But at the same time, they tend to be hard on me sometimes. And where I'm gentle with them, I just want that same thing, like you said, being able to reciprocate. So,
Mom, have you asked them that though?
What?
Have you asked them, am I a good mother? Have you asked them, am I gentle? Have you asked them how they feel about your style or your way of mothering them?
Yeah, they said one says I smother. One says one says Mom.
I'm not the one that says I tell my mom all the time the mistakes that myself and Erin, my younger sister, make literally is no representation of you being a good or a bad mother.
Right.
Erin's about to be 24 in 2 weeks. I'm about to be 42 in 2 weeks. I have to remind her, Mom, our mistakes do not mean that you're a bad mom.
Right.
And so when she says that, a lot of her validity of being a human being, a person, a woman, and because she is a mom, whenever something doesn't go right, I try my best to be the best mother. And I have to tell her, Mom, this has nothing to do with you being a good mother. This has to do with the decision that Aaron made. This has to do with the decision that I made. It has nothing to do with you. And sometimes I know that that's hard for her to hear and comprehend. I try my best to affirm her all the time and remind her that she is a good mom.
She is.
But I also have to say, sometimes you have to, like, Erin is going to be okay. One thing about Erin, she's resilient. And I have to remind my mom of that. Because the more you interfere with her, the more you stifle her from really growing up. Because I didn't have all of that. I had to do the dishes, do this. I had to grow up. I had to literally grow up. And there are still certain things that I'm still, we all figuring it out because it's all growth. But it's like, even grown as we are, we're still trying to figure it out. And we still need the love of our mothers and the help from our mothers. And I try to make sure that, and Jason, you're so close with your mom. I see how you honor your mother, how you love your mother. And we've had conversations about how your mother loves you and pushes you. And if she sees something that you need to be here, she's gonna make sure that you're there. My mom is the same way.
Yeah. But
but
I will say, it was in my 40s that my mom stopped taking the responsibility for our mistakes too. I think we may not understand it because we're not parents yet. I think that like something happens when they grow us inside of them for that long, and our mistakes means that somewhere they messed up and didn't give us a piece of advice that we needed. So I think it's like I have a lot of grace from my mom because she was a single mom. So, and she had 2 sons. And so like I have a ton of grace from my mother. But in 2020, it all came to a head with me and my mom. And for the very first time, I wouldn't speak to her for a little bit. And like that has never happened. We've always been best friends. But in 2020, there was a moment I needed a mother. And we had grown so close as friends that the mother-son part was starting to wane a little bit. And I was like, nah, I need you to be a mom. And she was just like, she felt horrible. Like she finally stopped taking credit for my mistakes or responsibility for my mistakes. But I think that something happens because there's like, I feel like fathers, we sacrifice a little bit for the kid, but no one in life sacrifices like a mom. And I'm a man saying that, but it's just what it is. It's like, no one in life sacrifice. Like they give up their bodies for us. Like we feed on their bodies. Like like everything they do for really 10 months, every single decision they make really affects our well-being. Yes. And I just think that I have a ton of grace because like I don't think that just because they cut the physical umbilical cord, I don't really think the emotional umbilical cord is ever cut. Yes. Like it doesn't stop because we turned 18. It doesn't stop because we moved across state. It doesn't stop. It doesn't even stop when we have kids. No. It just transitions to a new kid. But like, I just think that like, I don't know. I just think that like I'll say this, in a world that we live in right now, having a mom who checks on you too much is kind of special than a mom who doesn't check on you enough. And I think we will understand, Micha. I think we will understand maybe when we have children. I have nieces and nephews, and when I used to take my nephews for a weekend every summer. It's 3 boys, and I remember just one of them getting on a roller coaster without me, and his car didn't come down behind where I thought it was supposed to, because the car that was in front of him came down. So I'm thinking his car is next, and then the car behind him, but it didn't come down next. And I remember the panic, the sheer panic in 5 seconds that I may never see him again. It was the weirdest feeling that his car got stuck up there and something happened. And I went, oh my God, this is what parents feel every single day when we walk out the front door. That's right. This is what they feel like. Yeah. This is what they feel like when we go away to college. This is what they feel like when we go on our first dates. This is what they feel like when we don't come home at curfew. Like this is that. And it was 5 seconds. And his car was next, and everything was like, oh God. And I was like, I said, I don't know if I'm gonna be a dad. Like, I can't do this every day. I can't do this every day. No, sir. So I have a ton of grace. I have a ton of grace for our parents, like definitely for my mom who did it by herself. and who like literally she honest to God gave up all of her dreams so that my brother and I could live out ours. And so for that reason, like unfortunately for you, Micha, I'm gonna be on mom's side on this one because
it's fine. It's fine. And here's the thing: I'm always on her side, even when I have to say to her,
"Mom is that girl.
I need you to listen to me, Mom." You know, it came to a point when I said, "Mom, if I see something that needs to be done, be it around the house, be it around the office." I said, Mom, I had a dream about this. I need you to handle this. You know what I'm saying? There's just certain things. Yeah. Mom, I need you to be careful. Mom, you know, you're doing so much. I need you to watch out for this. And, you know, she texted me the other day and she was like, I didn't do this until I did this. And I was so proud of her because she's always doing this thing. And I'm like, Mom, you can't.
Because we become the parent.
I need you safe.
We become the parent.
Exactly.
When we get in our 40s, because our 40s means their 60s.
That's it.
And
I think I'm looking quite good. I think
Mama, you let them have it. Ma, you look good. Mama, you look good.
Thank you, baby.
But it definitely turns. We become their parent for sure. I am my mother's parent all day.
And it can be stressful. But here's the thing, and I to bring this even back, I think when we're striving to have excellence in our relationships, a lot of that forms from what we saw growing up, what we may have felt or what we didn't feel, and what we're saying, okay, this is what, at this point in my life, I require this level of excellence for the relationships in my life.
Right, I agree.
I require this level of excellence for what I give to another person.
Yep.
Because oftentimes, the thing is, we'll want all of these things from other people. But then it's like, well, are you giving that same level? Are you even getting close to that? So then you have to take a step back. I think maturity is taking a step back and being honest. Okay, this is what I'm willing to give. I may want to give this. I know I want to receive this. But this is what I'm willing to give. And I do believe that when you're in relationship, covenant, whatever you want to call it, with your friends, whomever, I think that there are conversations that are definitely okay to have. I want to have friendships where I can be free to be like, hey, this is what I'm willing to give. This is what I'm able to give to this relationship at this point in my life. I promise you, I would respect that more than you feeling like I'm neglecting you because I'm not calling you every day where I once did, where I was calling you every day. We were hanging out all the time. We were doing this. We were doing this. Hey, let me just let you know, this is where I am at this point in my life. It's nothing against you. Yeah. And I understand if you feel like you can't give that back to me, if it's pure, but I'm telling you from a pure place. I got a live recording that I'm trying to get ready for. I got a whole choir that I'm trying to get together. I'm taking auditions from people. I'm trying to get what's going on in my personal life together. I'm trying to make sure I'm staying afloat. So if I neglect you as a friend, please don't charge it to my heart. Right. Don't even charge it to my head, because right now my head is all over the place because I have all of this other stuff. But I'm coming to you because I've been seeing you sliding, I've been seeing you posting stuff, and let me let you know that this is what it is. Right. And this is a different level of maturity.
I think it's transparency, accountability.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, you go ahead. No, you were going to say mom.
No, I was going to give an example. Jason and I, since, was it Stellars or the Doves? Was it Stellars? Whatever the case was, we were supposed to go out to lunch or dinner when we got back to LA.
Probably Stellars.
I can't remember which, Stellars, Dove, or maybe at the Kirk Franklin concert. It was one of those situations where we randomly have ran into each other. I think it was Stellars. We were supposed to go out to lunch when we got back. The Stellars were in August of 2023. Nashville. I have not seen Jason in Nashville. I have not seen Jason in person since Kirk Franklin's concert, which was a little later in the year. But we have not gone out to have our lunch together. We talked on the phone, we text.
Right. Maybe that's why I feel like
we haven't sat down and had our lunch from when we said that we were going to do it in August. Let me tell you something. I know what Jason has going on in his life. And I'm
Yes, I
not
know.
taking it personal. I check in, I
Please
make sure he's
don't.
okay. I never take it personal because people are busy. People, life is lifing.
And for those who
Life
don't
is
live in LA,
lifing.
and for those who don't live in LA, y'all
Right.
won't know that she and I literally live on two completely separate, like completely opposite sides of the city.
Mercy.
The way
Completely.
you far, that downtown is too far. Jesus.
And here's the thing: when he was downtown, he was downtown for a few days. He was working on a project, and I knew it.
Yeah.
But I didn't force us meeting because I knew he was focused on what he had to do in
On the
that
show.
time, and I was
On the show.
okay. You gotta have people in your life that really understand where you are and where you're going.
Yep.
So that goes back to what we started the show with. And if you say to yourself, they have really gone into different avenues, but what we've done is been transparent here tonight.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Live to Be Well real. Mike and I, we come at you real as a mother-daughter duo. And what Jason is saying, your daughter is brilliant and very perceptive. She is, praise the Lord. Apples don't fall far from the tree. Amen, somebody.
Mama, did you take credit for her brilliance?
Come on now, come on. God is a good God. Amen. All right. You gotta train up a child in the way it should go. When it's old, it shall not depart. But what you've seen here tonight, viewers, is really how we value. Micha values Jason. She values his time, his career, his ministry. He values her. And even being here tonight, for him to say yes. And, and this was not something we planned a month ago, 2 weeks ago. This was just 24, 48 hours ago. And he's here with us because we know how things work and how things come together. Let me say this. I know, Jason, that I value who I am. Because there's no way I can pour into my children, to you, Jason, anybody else. People come to see me as Dr. Kim Logan-Nowlin because they see that I value me. They value the way I run and operate my business. I've been in private practice for 45 years.
Wow.
I've been voted the #1 therapist in Detroit. I've been given accolades and appreciations and all these awards, but the best award has come from my work as a wife and a mother.
Yeah.
Because how can I pour into everyone else? And what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So you may say that we deviated a little bit tonight. No, we didn't. We're talking about being assessed. Micha, she assessed me. She values me, but she had to also say some things that you all need to hear about our relationship. Yeah. And then she shared with you what she values Jason. And Jason shared about his mother. You need to do a baseline in your relationships in order to know exactly how you value those relationships. If it's a 1 or a 0, why is that person still in your cell phone? Micha says all the time, if these individuals on one hand are not being valued by you, something needs to change. And
who are your top 5? Who are your top 10? Who are your
top 10?
Remember MySpace? You had remember on MySpace, Jason?
Yep.
Your top.
You should have it in your phone and the favorites in your phone.
Your favorite.
Like who are they? Like Jason, I have in my focus section, Jason's in my focus. Whether we talk every day or not. If Jason was to call me at 2, 3 in the morning, I'm going to wake up and answer my phone because I value our relationship so much that I put him in my focus group.
Same.
Period.
Yep. Same.
I have a focus group.
He's standing somewhere and needing me to come get him. I'm getting up and I'm coming to get him.
That's it. So
Careful.
I have that same plan. So when you're talking about, you all are funny, relationships and assessing, make sure, number 1, that you hold them accountable. Number 2, that you're looking at the awareness of that person, how they treat you.
Yeah.
Number 3, you got to be consistent in your truth. Be consistent in your truth. And don't just allow you to stay in that because of fear. You deserve the very best for your life. Number 4, show compassion to yourself. Learn how to work through. Find a good therapist. Find someone to help you work through those behavior pattern changes that you need to make so that you can move on in your life. And number 5, what is your real truth? Integrity. Micha, Jason, give us some closing remarks on what we've talked about. We love you. Will you come back? You coming back?
Absolutely. Shoot, this was great.
All right, I'm giving Micha a spanking. She'll be better behaved next time. So give us your come on, take us out, Jason.
I think my closing remarks are every relationship you have, good or bad, is a mirror to who you are and how you see yourself. Those are my closing remarks. It's a mirror to you. So look at all your friends, look at your spouse, your relationships, whatever you're dating, whatever it is, and see what you attract and see who you keep dating or see who you're married to, or that's just a mirror. It's a reflection of who you are or how you see yourself.
All right, 6.
And my closing remarks, Mr. Rogers, if you could play that clip for me, please.
All right, we're gonna have a clip.
That music that I asked you to play.
All right.
Put your hands together tonight. It's about Jesus. He's the only living God. It's not about you. Hey, but it's about Jesus.
You can cut it.
Thank you, Jesus.
So, you can cut it, Raja.
Jason can sing, dude. Jason, you can sing.
Something.
That's hilarious.
That song is not about us. It's about Jesus. Well, Jones, back in the... I mean, it is a gospel classic. And the fact, here's the thing. Some of our closest friends are literally just now realizing that it's Jason that sings the lead on that song.
I couldn't believe he didn't know.
I couldn't believe it either. That is Jason. If you go back and listen to Noel Jones, it's not about us. It's about Jesus. It is this man right here. And he has literally taken his ministry and it's gone just like this. And it's going to keep going just like this. Jason McGhee and the choir, his ministry, and to know the backstory that you didn't even want to do that solo was insane. Like to hear I love music history. So when Jared Haddon talks about the backstory of that. But that song, Jason, is not about us. It's about Jesus. That's literally like relationship. What Jesus did for us. He didn't know us. His father told him to do something. He got up on that cross and he did it for people he did not know, for people he wasn't even sure were going to love, honor, and respect him. He did it.
Yeah.
So when you think about it not being about us, it's about Jesus, the greatest commandment. Like all the things. Yeah. That is my closing remark. It's not about us. It's about Jesus.
Yes. God be the glory. Thank you, Yvonne.
Amen.
Let
the viewers know about Another Day, Micha. Let them know about.
Oh, so he has this live recording, and I mean, Jason, you talk about your live recording. That was my turn, but God is going to be exalted. I am just
absolutely.
Excited. It is going to be another tomorrow. There it is. There it is. If you know people in California, tell them to get tickets to this live recording. Support this man of God.
Wow.
Like, go into him. It is going to be phenomenal. He's doing it as an independent artist. It's not easy for independent artists. It is not easy for independent artists. He's literally taken a leap of faith. This whole live recording, everything Jason is doing, it is a leap of faith. He's literally listening to what God is telling him to do. And I told him, God's will, God's bill. And I promise you, he is going to be so surprised after when that night is over. People are going to show up from all over. So if you know someone in the Los Angeles area, make sure April 6th, they are in the building to witness this amazing act of God. I promise you, it's not anything you want to miss.
Oh, I may have to figure out how to get there. I'm gonna be in Huntsville. And come on out to LA.
Mama, you gotta come. Mama, you gotta come. You gotta come to the recording.
I gotta figure that out. Micah, we got to figure that out because I got to be in the house. I got to be in the house.
You gotta be there.
I have nothing planned. I have nothing planned. I'll be looking for this. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
And when the project, and here's the thing, if you're not in LA, when the project drops, support it. Support this project.
Yes.
We got a project coming in Detroit. 6 is in it. We're going to be doing a Christian. We're doing a Christian film. And we have been waiting for God to show us who would be the soloist and one of the actors in it. So we got some things to talk to you about.
Let's talk.
Plant a seed in your ministry. Amen.
Amen.
I went to your video. I told him I was stalking him. I've been listening to watching. And I said, this baby can sing.
He can sing.
And I like the video. I like the video. You were in your black outfit and you were doing the little step and walking and things in the black video. That was so adorable. I said, oh my goodness. So now that you know who I am, I'm going to be stalking even more.
Please stalk Mom. Please stalk me. Stalk me.
I told him that he reminded me of Uncle Derek.
Uncle Derek.
And his position, his position and everything, and why I watch him the way that I do.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite uncle is my mom's brother.
Yes.
I told him that story. Like, this is why I love like just watching him create.
Yes.
And I'm
before there was anybody. He was there with Thomas Whitfield and Charles Nix and the James Clevelands and in the beginning era of time, and Matty Moss Clark, but he could direct a choir like no one else. And when I saw you, I said, that's nothing but Derek, So God is good, and tears just ran from my eyes. But the Lord is so good.
Yes,
let me say this again. What a privilege it has been to be with you all tonight. No matter what you're dealing with in your families, no matter what you're going through in your families and in your own personal life and professional life, know that God is able and God is with you. And God wants to refine you and give you a higher value on your life. But you have to be willing to hold yourself accountable to receive that value. See, God is not just going to give the value out to anyone. He wants to know that you're ready and that he's going to do two things. Either he's going to keep you where you are or he's going to move you to the next level. And I don't know about you. I don't plan to go backwards. I don't plan to have a rear view syndrome where you can't look forward and backwards at the same time. Either you're going to go backwards or either you're going to go forward. And I believe today that Jason McGhee, ML6 and myself, and we're moving forward.
That's right.
Come on with us. We're moving forward.
Come on.
The expectation that God has for us. And I cannot say this enough. Please hear my words. God has a plan for you. It may take years for it to be able to see it, but God's promises come into fruition. Jason, I tell you, my baby saw me work hard. She saw me as diligent. She saw me enduring. She saw me when we started the practice. She would come at 6 years old and come and answer the phones. They thought she was a grown woman. She would take the trash out. She worked with me to help me build my practice. I remember the first dollar that I made. I called Micha. I said, Micha, I don't have to put this dollar back into the business. It goes into the other account. And Micha posted on Facebook, my mom, after 25 years, is starting to see the fruition of her labor. And now she's making money and she's seeing the labor of her work. God will not forsake you. He will not let go of his promise.
Right. I love that.
He will not. He will not let go of the promises he makes to you. But you cannot let go of him. And as Psalms 91, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High will dwell under the wings of the Almighty. Listen, I'm Dr. Kim, and as we always say, Jason, on 1, 2, 3, and stay on with us, Jason, as we close out. On 1, 2, 3, we have to say, live, be well, Jason. So 1, 2, 3, all right?
Yes,
as we
ma'am.
always say, all right, we want you to know you have to do what?
Live and be well.
All right, God bless you. Good night. All right.